Welcome back to the studios, and thank you so much for staying with us. So we're looking at our special conversations, which are conversation for Friday, which I indicated will be focusing on how to protect our girls from sexual abuse. Some of them are aware of what is happening to them. Well, some of them are really 18 and they know what's happening to them, but they're out of fear, they remain silent. Some of them are not even aware that what's being done to them is inappropriate. I have in the studio with me Reverend Daniel Annan. He's a counselor. Reverend, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And today we'll be taking some thoughts from him, some words of counsel for the young ladies in the Ejisuman sex scandal and how they can move on with their lives and what they can do. But we'll also be looking at the bigger picture, where we talk about at what age really parents should talk to their children about sexual education, because it is when you do this that you can open their eyes to the appropriateness or inappropriateness of the things that people do with them when you are not around. So let's start our conversation with the Ejisuman Senior High School. That is something that has already happened. Earlier today, I spoke with Reverend Dr. Francisca Duncan Williams. She is the founder of a women empowerment organization, Mama Francisca Foundation. And in that conversation, she speaks about more, or her expectations of more work to be done by both the Gender and Social Protection Ministry and the Education Ministry as far as providing knowledge for young girls are concerned. Here is that conversation. Right after that, I'll engage my counselor here in the studio. Watch this.
I believe that knowledge is so important. You see, one of the things that I am praying that Ghana will do more is to give knowledge. Knowledge is power. You know, some of these young ladies are very vulnerable because they might not have any idea of what their rights are. You know, but you go abroad and a 5-year-old girl knows her right. You know, and so you try to even touch her in places you shouldn't, and she will immediately call the right office to deal with that situation. Over here, that girl doesn't even know what to do. So she's just left there at the mercy of these people. But I believe that the time has come for us to empower by giving knowledge. You know, let there be more knowledge into how to do things, where to go. If I'm in trouble right now, who do I call? But how do I get the police? How do I get the social welfare? Right now, for example, we are talking about taxes. You know, GRA is talking about
asking all of us to go for TIN numbers.
Everyone to go for TIN numbers. Just yesterday I was talking to somebody. Where can can a group of people even come here from GRA to come and, you know, sensitize the people and give us knowledge about what do we need to do. It's not because people don't want to pay their taxes.
They don't have the knowledge.
Know what to do. They have no knowledge, you know. So I believe that we can send people into communities, into areas, you know. We are talking about TV license, we are talking about electricity, whichever area. Let's have the people going out there, you know, to teach our people, give us some knowledge. And I believe that when knowledge is given to the people, it will empower the people to know what to do at the right time.
Right. So in terms of the Ejisuman scandal, where some of the parents, in fact, when this happened, a lot more parents have come and they're reporting of things that have happened in the past before. Yes. But this is a country where we say 70% of us are Christians. Shouldn't we have a better story to tell as a country? Speaking of parents who have come out with their own versions of abuses to their daughters, let's hear some of the parents who called in on Joy FM earlier, reporting how their children have been abused. So you know that the story is not just about Ejisuman Senior High School.
One parent who wants to remain anonymous recounts how a teacher at Ejisuman played a role in linking his daughter to another teacher who teaches at Joasu Senior High School. This past year, my daughter was a student at Ejisuman. One Saturday, I decided to pay her a visit. When I parked my vehicle,
I was accosted by a stoutly built man who they say was the physical education tutor. He denied me access to the school. So I asked that they call me a female tutor in whose care I left my ward. The woman told me my daughter sought Eziat to go home. I called my wife, who said she has not been to the house. So I decided to wait at the school for my daughter. The whole of the Saturday, she didn't show up. The following day, I waited until evening when she came. She confessed to me that the physical education teacher, strongman they call him, introduced her to another teacher, and she has since been sleeping over at his end on weekends. She had new clothes and a mobile phone with 4 SIMs in her backpack. I had to remove her from the school. At a recent PTA meeting of the school, an angry mother narrated how her daughter ended up in the hospital following abuse by her teacher.
Due to
the treatment meted out to my daughter, she was hospitalized. I had to part with a lot of money. I want to know what the school is saying about that. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
And that was actually parents who called into Love FM, our sister station in Kumasi. We'll be getting into our conversation very soon, but just look out for a full version of my interview with Reverend Dr. Francisca Duncan Williams on Monday. Keep watching this show and you hear all of it.